cracked its whip on her.
How can a leader mwenye ako na akili aseme kitu kama hiyo iendelee?
President William Ruto defends the sugar leasing deals, says leaders opposing the move are selfish. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Laura Omondi. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Let's get this show started. Now, Kenyan activist Boniface Mwangi's wife, Njeri Mwangi, has called on the Kenyan and Tanzanian governments to release her husband and bring him back home, saying both governments are not giving any information about his whereabouts. Speaking after she visited the Tanzanian High Commission in Nairobi, Njeri narrated about how the uncertainty of her husband's whereabouts had taken a great toll on her family. The Tanzanian government says it has set free the activist, but he remains untraceable.
This we are saying without any shred of a doubt is that Boniface Mwangi and Agatha Atuharie have not committed any offense. We're very clear about that. We know for certain that going to Tanzania to observe a judicial process by any means is fully within the laws of Tanzania. Up to this point in time, no one has come forward, even those of us who are stopped at the airport, no one has come forward to state clearly the mistake, the crime that had been committed.
I don't know if there's any, whatever the issue is between the two governments. I can't speak to that because my husband has got nothing to do with it. If they have any issues, they should sort them on their own and leave my husband out of it. If my husband has anything to do, they need to come out and be very clear about whatever that is.
So we are wondering, where is Boniface Mwangi and Comrade Agatha Mtahire of Uganda? So from here, what we are going to do, we are going to regroup so that we know the next course of action. But in the meantime, we are asking Kenyans, we are asking Tanzanians, we are asking all East Africans, and indeed all Pan-Africans in Africa and outside Africa, to exert pressure on the government of Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan so that she may release Boniface Mwangi and Agatha Mtahire.
Embattled Senator Gloria Oroba has lost her position in the Senate after Speaker Amason Jeffer Kingi officially declared her seat vacant. In a Gazette notice dated May 21st and issued on the same day, Speaker Kingi announced the vacancy in accordance with Article 101(2) of the Constitution. Following the invocation of Article 98(1)(b), which pertains to members elected to represent special interests, the former nominated senator has been facing mounting pressure following disciplinary proceedings by her sponsoring party, which led to her expulsion over alleged misconduct. Oroba was Monday expelled from the ruling United Democratic Alliance Party due to allegations of disloyalty and violation of the party's code of conduct. However, the High Court has this evening issued orders barring her removal pending determination.
Containing Gazette Notice number 6461, I have communicated the occurrence of a vacancy in a member of the Senate elected through a party list. The Gazette Notice notifies the general public that pursuant to Article 103(1)(ei) of the Constitution and Section 37 of the Elections Act, the seat for the member of the Senate elected under Article 98(1)(b) of the Constitution and held by Senator Gloria Oroba has become vacant, with effect from today, Wednesday, 21st of May 2025. Now, honorable senators, pursuant to the provisions of Article 101(2) of the Constitution and Section 16(3) and 37 of the Elections Act, I have notified the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, and the political party concerned of the vacancy arising in the office of a member of the Senate elected under Article 98(1)(b) of the Constitution. The Senate is accordingly notified. Thank you.
At the same time, Githunguri Member of Parliament Gathoni wa Mushomba has condemned United Democratic Party for expelling nominated Senator Gloria Oroba from the party. Speaking in Mombasa, wa Mushomba termed the act by the UDA party as a political persecution and a violation of a right to association. The parliament
is very independent. You also cannot isolate Gloria from her community. You cannot say that Gloria, because now she's a nominated senator under UDA, she no longer associates with the Kisii community. She no longer associates with the Kisii leaders, whether they are from her party or not her party. And I think this is an erosion of what we call the nationalism. When you start associating leaders with who they marry, who they sing with over the weekend, which church they attend to, I think this is an erosion of our nationalistic ethos. And I am here to condemn the persecution, the harassment, the objectification of Senator Senator Gloria. And I stand with her as a woman, I stand with her as a mother, and I want to speak to my political party, UDA. UDA literally means Democratic Party. It is democracy within the democratic space for us to associate, for us to advocate, for us to stand for Kenyans. Senator Gloria is not from Mount Kenya region where I come from, but I'm here standing for her because she's a Kenyan. She's a woman leader under a democratic party called UDA. If UDA really stands for democratic leadership, then they should allow Senator Gloria Orwaba to relate herself with the ground in Kisii.
I mean, we just need to grow up. What we are saying is Gloria Orwaba is a victim of circumstances who's being punished for expressing her democratic right. Gloria is basically Fred Matiang'i's person that they have worked with before when he was in Jubilee, when he was working for President Uhuru. So when Matiang'i came back and she's coming there escorting him, Matiang'i hasn't even said he belongs to a certain party. He has not said he's going to Jubilee or UPA or UDA or whatever, whichever. But the reality is that for the president and his team to pick this innocent lady, and as Mheshimiwa Mshomba has said, somebody who has meticulously picked a single issue in the Republic of Kenya, which was considered taboo.
President William Ruto has slammed political leaders who have voiced their dissent against the sugar leasing deals for the larger Western region, saying the leaders have no interest of Kenyans at heart. The head of state defended the leasing agreements as ones that will eradicate poverty among sugarcane farmers who had fallen prey to cartels in the region. Now, the president made the remarks at State House in Nairobi, where he met leaders from the Akamba region.
My plan is that next year we must get 1 million tons. The following year, 1.2 million tons. Already, we have an additional 200,000 acres of land planted under sugarcane, and we have 4 new factories that we have licensed. And on top of that, zile kampuni za serikali ambazo zilikuwa zina kizungumkuti mingi, we have now finalized the leasing so that the private sector can come in. And it is I am very happy with the progress that has been made. Kuna viongozi ambao wanataka kuweka watu katika umaskini. Unaona mtu anaenda kupinga ati factory ya sukari should not be leased. Ati iendelee vile inaendelea saa hii. Saa hizi factory hailipi mkulima. Factory hailipi wafanyikazi. Factory hailipi ushuru. Factory inachukua miwa ya wananchi, inaenda inazama nayo. How can a leader mwenye ako na akili aseme kitu kama hiyo iendelee? You know, really. You know, some leaders I don't understand. They need to be humane. How can you want people to be in poverty? Hiyo wakulima wa miwa wengi, karatasi yao inaonyesha DR, yani wanadaiwa. Mtu unapeleka miwa, mwisho unaandikwa makaratasi unaambiwa wewe ndio ulipe kampuni ya miwa. Mkulima anangojea mwaka moja alipwe. Mwisho sio ati mkulima analipwa na kampuni ambaye alipeleka sukari yake. Mwisho serikali ndio inalipa wakulima, serikali ndio inalipa wafanyikazi. Serikali haikuajiri wafanyikazi, serikali haikuchukua miwa ya wakulima. What kind of nonsense is that?
Now, the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, NCIC, has summoned former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua for allegedly comparing the 2007-2008 post-election violence to a Christmas party, terming the remarks as deeply insensitive. NCIC condemned the former Deputy President for the utterances, which they say is harmful to nation healing and reconciliation. The Commission is also investigating 28 other leaders for alleged violations under the National Cohesion and Integration Act, including hate speech and ethnic contempt. NCIC is urging Kenyans, and especially the youth and social media influencers, to use their freedom of expression responsibly to promote unity. They further called for renewed patriotism and rejection of ethnic polarization to foster peace ahead of the 2027 elections.
NCIC are concerned by Honorable Rigathi Gachagua's, the former Deputy President, recent remarks. These thoughts are not only appalling, but dangerously insensitive to the pain, to the loss, and the trauma suffered by thousands of Kenyans during one of the darkest chapters in our history. The Commission is working closely with the other relevant agencies to hold Rigathi Gachagua responsible and accountable for these reckless utterances.
Mumias East Member of Parliament Peter Salasia has condemned what he terms as the victimization of innocent Kenyans by security agencies. Salasia, who is out on a 200,000 shillings cash bail after he was arrested last Friday and charged with hate speech, wants the Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja to rein in his officers and ensure they follow the law while executing their mandate. He claimed to have been victimized during his dramatic arrest and detention by officers from the DCI on his way from Isiolo, saying that government agencies should learn to summon those they suspect of wrongdoing instead of arresting them like criminals.
Nikasema ya kwamba that office called the Inspector General is an office that is given by the Constitution of Kenya, that is there to protect Kenyans from any kind of insecurity issue. Na wakati unaona, kwa sababu all hizi vitengo zote ziko chini ya Inspector General. Mimi nimeuliza Bwana Kanja kwa heshima kubwa sana jana na leo. Nikamwaliza ya kwamba aitishe ule ambaye anaitwa the Director of Criminal Investigation, Bwana mimi, ya kwamba wasitumie hiyo kitengo kufrustrate and harass harmless people like Peter Salasia and others. Sasa ukishika Peter Salasia, mtoto mdogo kama mimi, na amemwaga tu mafuta ya Yesu Kristo juzi, sasa unataka kufanya namna gani? Kwa sababu kama mnaona ya kwamba tumekosa mahali, andikeni kwa mtandao, chapisheni kwa mtandao ya kwamba Peter Salasia unahitajika pale katika makao makuu ya Criminal Investigation tarehe fulani saa fulani, ili ya kwamba nisipoenda Wakenya watajua ya kwamba tulimuita akakataa.
Universal Health Coverage UHC workers continued with their demonstrations demanding permanent and pensionable terms before their payrolls are transferred to the counties. More than 8,000 workers from different cadres held a night vigil in Nairobi's Green Park terminus on Tuesday night before staging protests along Nairobi's streets. The workers hired under the UHC program launched by former President Uhuru Kenyatta in 2020 accused the government of reneging on its promise to offer permanent employment terms.
Serikali, Mheshimiwa Ruto anaongea kila siku, anasema ile kitu anataka kufanya ni mambo ya UHC, Universal Health Coverage. Lakini ataifanyaje bila human resource? Sisi ndio human resource wa hiyo Universal Health Coverage yenye anataka. Na werea satupai kazi. Tumekuwa tukifanya kazi na hatuja confirmiwa ile permanent and pensionable. For more than 6 years now. Wenzetu wamekufa 41, almost 45. Na mmoja alikufa last week juzi. Sasa ndo tumekuja hapa leo. Serikali
having worked tirelessly with everybody running away from COVID, we stood firm kila mtu alikuwa anakimbia, even the politicians were running away to stand firm. Peka policemen walikuwa wanakimbia. We stood firm until COVID ikaisha. Now having worked on contract for 5 years, being paid peanuts, they are now tossing us up and up, down, right, center, paka tunachanganyikiwa.
Officers, 16 cadres, we don't have any medical covers which we can stand. We are exposed to microbes which affect our lives. Secondly, we work the same shift with those who are employed. Thirdly, we are discriminated, whereby we get 2/3 of the salary that our fellow people working the same shift, the same workload, the same benches.
They were not actually employed for COVID-19. It's only that it was coincidental that when we were starting the journey towards universal health coverage, and when they got into service, then their first experience was with COVID-19. The government was giving the stipend of 50,000 for the diploma and 40,000 for the certificate, as they budgeted to get the requisite funds and pay them as per the SRC policies.
We want to call out the Cabinet Secretary of Health, Honorable Aden Duale. When we first met you, you shown us hope, but it is quite unfortunate that within 2 months, you have drastically changed and joined the bandwagon of those people who are oppressing healthcare workers in this country. You promised us that you are going to deal with the matter of UHC and any other pending labor issue.
All right, indeed, the valid cries right there from the universal health care or health coverage, workers, UHC, as they look to get enrolled in permanent and pensionable terms, even as the CS has insisted that by 1st of July 2025, they will be shifting to the county governments. Now that brings us to a break right here on EBN Prime. Stay with us, we'll be back shortly with more news making headlines. The Principal Secretary for the State Department for Labor and Skills Development, Shadrach Mwadime, has affirmed the government's commitment to reforming the overseas job recruitment sector to eliminate rogue agencies. Admittedly, the PS said during the graduation ceremony of 24 divers from Kerio Valley who had undergone intense training at the Bandari Maritime Academy that there are challenges and they have received complaints from youths who are defrauded by rogue agencies. He vowed that they would keep on deregistering rogue agencies, not to prey on and swindle gullible job-seeking Kenyans off their hard-earned money on false pretenses of recruiting them to well-paying jobs overseas.
Ni kweli tunakubali kwamba kuna shida kidogo, tumeiona kwa magazeti, tumesikia kwa maredio na hata vijana wengine wamekuja kwetu na kutuelezea kwamba kuna zile tunaziita rogue recruitment agencies ambazo ni lazima sisi kama serikali tuweze kusafisha sekta hii kwa sababu kazi hazimo na kazi zinapatikana huko ugaibuni. Kwa hivyo kile ambacho tunafanya kwa wakati huu tutazidi kuzifutilia mbali from our register, we'll keep on deregistering them, but tunaambia vijana pia kabla hujatoa pesa zako kwa agency yoyote uende kwa National Employment Authority website. Zile agency zote ambazo ziko na dosari, ziko na wino mwekundu, kana kwamba tunawaambia Wakenya hii ni hatari, usiende karibu hapo. Hata ukiona ameweka advert ya kiasi gani kwa social media, kwa print media na kadhalika. But the ones that are in black ink, wino mweusi, tunasema hizo ziko sawa. Hatukatai kwamba kuna matatizo, kila siku tunaona vile nilivyotaja katika sehemu tofauti za media houses zetu.
Leaders and youth from Trans Nzoia County are expressing their fear that the county may regress in development and are asking the national government to loosen the reins and give the county governor George Natembeya an opportunity to serve the people. The residents, led by Esther Kohli, say the court order restraining the governor from entering office for 60 days will paralyze many county activities. They have also criticized leaders who have been pushing for the governor to be removed from office, promising to remove them by 2027.
Juzi mliona kwa vyombo za mitandao gavana wetu akitishiwa ya kwamba haitafika mwisho huu mwaka kama yeye ameshakuwa impeached. Na tumeona hata ijapita karibu mwezi mmoja gavana amekuja ameshikwa hapa, ameshikwa kama jambazi, mtu ambaye amechaguliwa na viongozi wote wa Trans Nzoia, mtu ambaye amechaguliwa na jamii zote za Trans Nzoia, kwa sababu gavana wetu alipewa kura na jamii zote za hapa Trans Nzoia. Hakuna jamii yenye haikumpatia kura. Na sisi tumeishi kwa amani sana kwa huu muda wote. Waluya na Wakalenjin wenye wako hapa hivi Trans Nzoia na Wakikuyu na makabila zingine zote zenye ziko hapa, sisi tumekuwa tukiona tukiishi kwa amani. Lakini hii serikali tunaona mkuu mnaendelea na style yenye mnataka kutupeleka hivi. Mnataka kuleta sasa jamii zote za Trans Nzoia zianze kupigana.
Siku 60 kuwa nje ya ofisi. So mimi najiuliza ni nani ataendeleza zile projects ambazo alikuwa anaendelesha. So I want to call upon wale pia majudges, wakati unapea mtu ruling, angalia pia usikuwe tu unapeana kwa sababu umepewa instructions za kupeana. So tunaomba pia wale judge wa mahakama wakati wanapeana zile rulings, next time pia wajaribu.
Tumepewa ati tunakaa nje ya ofisi 60 days. So 60 days kuna stadium ilikuwa inajengwa pale. Kuna hospitali ambayo ni ya Tomboya kina mama ya kujifungua ilikuwa inamaliziwa. Kuna hospitali Lifaro pia ilikuwa inamaliziwa kuleta miradi za kusaidia wamama kujifungua na kila aina. Na ndio maana umeona hao madisi ambao walikuja hapa, vijana wa Trans Nzoia walikashirika kabisa, wakaamua kubomoa hiyo gari, wakaiba kila kitu hizo. Hiyo ilikuwa tuna defend governor wetu, sababu wangemchukua hiyo usiku, wangemuua.
Now, vision bearer and founder of the Redeemed Gospel Churches in Kenya, Archbishop Dr. KITONGA, celebrated his 80th birthday in a colorful ceremony at the Redeemed headquarters in Huruma, Nairobi County. The service, which was broadcasted live on EBN TV, brought together clergy leaders from far and wide in Kenya who attended and witnessed this landmark event. The Chief Executive Officer of EBN TV, Reverend Felix Kavoy, was also among the hundreds of pastors who flocked the church on Wednesday to celebrate the founder. The Redeemed Gospel Church was founded by Archbishop Dr. KITONGA in 1974 in Mathare slums, Nairobi. He sought asylum from Uganda during the Idi Amin Dada regime, where he had been serving as a pastor of the Anglican Church. The church was established with a focus on serving the poor and the marginalized. All right, let's get sporty. Mombasa is set to play host to the 11th leg of the NCBA Golf Series this Saturday, 24th of May. At least 150 golfers are expected to take part in the tournament as they compete for a chance to secure a spot in the series grand finale later this year. The golfers will be competing for their chance to secure a spot to play in the tournament's finals, with winners emerging in the overall men gross winner, overall lady gross winner, Division 2 men and lady winner, Division 3 overall winner, and the junior winner. In addition to the qualification slots, there will also be a hole-in-one prize on offer, a brand new JCB 3DX backhaul loader, courtesy of a partnership between NCBA and JCB Ganatra. All right, that marks the end of our broadcast tonight. Thank you for watching. I hope you're duly informed. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Laura Omondi. Good night.